Welcome to our channel. Today we will explore one of the most fascinating and decisive moments in biblical history, the historical and political context surrounding David's rise to the throne of Israel. After the death of King Saul and his son Jonathan, Israel found itself in a period of great uncertainty and instability. It was in this turbulent scenario that David began to pave his way to becoming one of the greatest kings in history. In this video, we will delve into the details of this crucial period, understand the alliances, betrayals, and challenges that David faced, and how his integrity and leadership were fundamental to unifying the kingdom of Israel. So, if you are passionate about biblical history and want to better understand how these events shape the future of Israel, follow every detail of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any incredible content like this. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing quality and in-depth videos on biblical themes. Let's discover this fascinating story together. In this video, we will delve into the details of this crucial period, understand the alliances, betrayals, and challenges that David faced, and how his integrity and leadership were fundamental to unifying the kingdom of Israel. So, if you are passionate about biblical history and want to better understand how these events shape the future of Israel, follow every detail of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any incredible content like this. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing quality and in-depth videos on biblical themes. Let's discover this fascinating story together. The death of King Saul and his son Jonathan brought a period of uncertainty and instability to Israel. The kingdom was divided, with the house of Saul still trying to maintain control, while David, anointed by Samuel to be the next king, bided his time. During this tumultuous period, David resided in Hebron in the tribe of Judah, where he had been anointed king over that tribe alone. The tribes of Israel were fragmented, and loyalties were volatile. General Abner, Saul's cousin and commander of the Israelite army, had supported Ishbosheth, Saul's surviving son, as king. However, Ishbosheth's position was fragile, and he lacked the charisma or leadership of his father. The battle on Mount Gilboa was devastating for Israel. Saul, seriously wounded, preferred to die by his own sword rather than be captured by the Philistines. Jonathan, his loyal son and David's close friend, also perished in the battle. News of the defeat quickly reached David in Ziklag, in the land of the Philistines, where he sought refuge from Saul's persecution. David, upon learning of the death of Saul and Jonathan, tore his clothes in mourning. He composed a lamentation, known as the Song of the Bow, extolling the bravery of Saul and Jonathan and ordered that it be taught to the children of Judah. With Saul dead, David inquires of the Lord and moves to Hebron, where the men of Judah anoint him king over the house of Judah. This is the beginning of David's reign, but he knows that ruling all of Israel will be a complex task. David begins to establish his power base in Hebron, dealing justly and seeking alliances with other tribes. He sends a message of thanks to the men of Jabesh Gilead who buried Saul, showing respect and building bridges of goodwill. While David consolidates his reign in Judah, Abner places Ishbosheth, Saul's son, as king over Israel at Mahanaim. However, Ishbosheth's leadership is weak, and he relies heavily on Abner. Tensions between Abner and Ishbosheth increase when Ishbosheth accuses Abner of taking a concubine from Saul, an act that Abner considers both a personal and political affront. During this period, David continues to build up his military forces. He attracts valiant and loyal warriors, including many who had served under Saul. David's reputation as a fair and strategic military leader spreads, and his power base in Hebron strengthens. Clashes between David's forces and those of Ishbosheth become frequent. David relies on his tactical skill and his faith in God to guide him through these conflicts. The war between the house of Saul and the house of David is long and bloody, but David gradually gains ground. Abner, disillusioned with Ishbosheth and recognizing David's growing strength, decides to change sides. He proposes a deal with David, promising to give him control of all the tribes of Israel. Abner visits David in Hebron and they have a banquet together, symbolizing the new covenant. David accepts Abner's offer and sends him away in peace to gather support among the tribes of Israel. However, Abner's betrayal will not be easily forgotten, and there are those who still harbor a grudge. Joab, the commander of David's army, harbors a deep grudge against Abner because he killed his brother Asahel in battle. Seizing the opportunity, Joab lures Abner back to Hebron under the pretext of a conference and kills him in revenge. David is dismayed to learn of Abner's death. He makes it clear that Joab's act was not sanctioned by him and that such treason is reprehensible. He curses Joab and publicly mourns Abner's death. David holds a public funeral for Abner, showing respect for his former adversary. He follows the funeral procession and composes a lament, expressing his sorrow and highlighting Abner's valor. The people of Israel see this as a gesture of greatness and justice on David's part. David says, "Should Abner die as the wicked die? Your hands were not tied, nor your feet loaded with fetters, you fell as one falls into the hands of wicked men." This gesture helps to solidify David's position as a just and benevolent leader. David faces a dilemma in dealing with Joab. Although Joab is an effective and loyal commander, his actions undermine David's integrity. David decides that justice must prevail, and he seeks ways to deal with Joab without causing an internal rift. Joab is reprimanded, but because of his military importance, he is not immediately punished. This creates a simmering tension within David's army that will be addressed later in his reign. Abner's death shakes Ishbosheth, and his weakness becomes apparent to all. Gradually, the tribes of Israel begin to recognize David as their rightful leader. David works tirelessly to unify the kingdom, providing justice, stability, and strong leadership. Ishbosheth is assassinated by two of his own captains, Baanah and Rechab, who expect to be rewarded by David. However, David, horrified by his act of treason, orders their execution and gives Ishbosheth a proper burial. This act reinforces David's righteousness. With Ishbosheth dead, the tribes of Israel gather in Hebron and anoint David king over all Israel. The unification of the kingdom is complete. David immediately sets to work unifying the tribes. He establishes Jerusalem as the new capital, a neutral city that symbolizes the unity of all Israel. David conquers the city from the Jebusites and makes it the city of David. Jerusalem becomes the political and spiritual center of the kingdom. David brings the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, cementing his role as spiritual and political leader. The matter of Joab is finally resolved. David instructs his son Solomon to deal with Joab after his death, ensuring that justice is served. David knows that his own position is strengthened when justice is upheld, even against those loyal to him. David faces challenges both internally and externally. Rebellions within Israel and conflicts with neighboring nations test his leadership. David responds with wisdom and strength, further cementing his reign. David brings the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem in a great celebration. This act symbolizes God's presence among his people and solidifies David's spiritual legitimacy as king. David dances before the ark with all his might, demonstrating his devotion to God. Conflicts continue to arise, both with foreign nations and within his own family. The rebellion of his son Absalom is one of the most painful moments of David's reign. He deals with these challenges with a combination of strength and mercy. David's family relationships are complex and often problematic. His sons vie for power, and their family decisions have political implications. The question of succession begins to take shape. God makes a covenant with David, promising that his lineage will reign forever. This promise is a source of great comfort and responsibility to David, who sees his reign as part of a larger divine plan.